Grell's Kitty by Hikaru the Jinx. Grell encounters a cat after work. What happens? A cat fight, that's what! Grell Sutcliffe was never really an animal person. He didn't like kids either. They were too bothersome. That's why at this moment the red-headed Shinigami found himself in an unpleasant pickle. He had come home that day exhausted from work and from going out of his way to stalk Sebastian. All he wanted to do was relax. That plan seemed to be going well at first. Grell had gotten comfortable on the couch with a snack and was perfectly content until he heard a noise. It was some kind of scratching sound coming from behind the curtain over his patio door. He ignored it at first and stuffed his face in a very unladylike manner. After a few minutes, however, it became too much. All at once, Grell sprang to his feet and ripped the curtain down, holding his chainsaw in the other hand. What he saw wasn't an enemy as he had half expected. The creature at his door was a small black cat, and so now Grell found himself in a situation he didn't like. He had opened the door to shoo the feline away, but it had merely pranced past him. The redhead watched the cat curiously as it explored the room. It seemed to be sniffing the air, looking for something. "His cheese puffs!" Grell dropped his chainsaw, rushing forward to protect his snack from the intruder. Unfortunately for him, it landed on his foot. "Ah!" His scream caused the cat to run and jump onto a nearby coffee table. Clutching his foot, the Shinigami glared at the black-furred pest. There was no question. It had to go. After tending to his foot, he looked around for the cat. It seemed to have vanished. Grell was tempted to accept this as a blessing, but still felt uneasy. He looked high and low, but didn't see it anywhere. How far could that horrible little pest have gone? He asked himself aloud. Walking to the kitchen, he thought he saw something out of the corner of his eye, a blur of black fur. Whirling around, he saw the kitten on the top of his fridge. Grell shrieked in a girly way and did the only rational thing to do in such a situation. He grabbed a broom and knocked the fuzzball off of the appliance. The cat managed to land on its feet and let out a mew of distress. Grell growled slightly and began to chase the feline with his broom. "Hold still, you pest!" Knickknacks were smashed, tables and chairs knocked over, and random objects strewn everywhere. The cat tauntingly scampered all over the apartment, dodging Grell's broom left and right. "Come back here!" The veins in his forehead bulged. The cat was running out of places to run and out of breath. Meanwhile, in phantomized manner, Sebastian was going about his duties when he suddenly stopped and stared out a window. "Sebastian, what is it?" Ciel asked harshly. "Nothing, my lord. I just had the sudden feeling that somewhere out there a cat was in danger," he replied. "Nonsense," Ciel said before taking a sip of his tea. Back in Grell's apartment, he had managed to chase the cat back out of the door and now stood panting. His long red hair was a sweaty mess. His eyes were bulging and his was holding a broom over his head. Altogether, he looked absolutely insane. The apartment was trashed, of course. After quite some time, he managed to get the place at least relatively clean. With a sigh, he decided to just go to bed. After changing his clothes and turning out the light, he snuggled down under the covers and drifted off to sleep. A few hours later, Grell awoke to a strange sound, a scratching noise, which was soon accompanied by loud mewing. "No!"